I'm incredibly surprised by the outcome of this vote. I think that the Colombia, the entire hemisphere, and the world is shocked by this vote. Every poll prior to yesterday's vote had the yes vote, the vote in favor piece, winning by a 2-to-1 margin. I think nobody could have expected the no vote against the accord to win by less than 55,000 votes. I think that shows the fact that in today's world, in this day and age, in this feeling of anti-establishment, that whenever you put a decision before the people, you really can't expect to know what the opinion is going to be until a vote actually happens.
Yeah, I think there's something that is very important to point out as well, and it's that victims around the country actually mobilized to vote for the yes. You can see it in every war-torn affected community. They voted majoritarily for the yes. Actually, in Bojaya, which is one of the worst massacres we've ever seen in the country, they voted 98% for the yes. So I think it also depends on who turns out to vote. Unfortunately, people in war-torn communities have more problems getting transport to come to the ballot boxes. And so I think that it also shows the lack of infrastructure and the lack of support that we still have for those communities.
Well, I think right now the last 12 hours have been a period of incredible uncertainty in Colombia. Yesterday, President Santos said that he would work to convene political parties across the political spectrum today. Whether that actually happens and the degree to which that's successful is still to be determined. The chief negotiator has already given his resignation to the president, taking personal responsibility for the failure of the vote. And at the same time, you've seen markets react unfavorably to the vote against the accord. I think that there still is a window open for peace. Even former President Alvaro Uribe, who led the No campaign, has remarked last night that he would be willing to discuss issues, but the issues have to be on his terms, and his terms are very harsh punishment of the FARC. He's against the incorporation of the FARC as a political party, so the terms under which he would want to negotiate are really not terms in which the FARC would want to negotiate.
I think on the political repercussions, we're going to see different parties that do not support the government stand closer together to the government at this point, because I think everyone sees that this is a historic opportunity for the country to achieve peace. We're never going to be happy with an agreement. We're never going to have a perfect agreement. And I think we all understood that it was an imperfect agreement, but one that was better than what we have right now, which is war. And so I think that those political forces, even though they don't support the government, know that that is more important. It's more important to give a solution to the victims that have been waiting for so long. And I think that a lot of the sectors, especially the conservative sectors in Colombia, are taking this to call for a constituent assembly. And I don't know if that is going to happen. That was what FARC was asking for in the first place. So I think that's very dangerous for the country, because we're going to bring in other issues that are not supposed to be discussed with FARC, brought to the table because of this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes everyone's task more difficult. I mean, I think that President Santos, the no vote is also, I think, in many ways, probably somewhat of a referendum on President Santos, as well as that was not the intention of the vote, but he is unpopular in Colombia right now for a number of reasons, including the economic situation in which the country is in. It was just 2 weeks ago that the members of the FARC came together for a conference in which they decided to give up their arms and convert themselves into a political party. And this was based on the trust and the confidence they had in the government and its negotiators that the deal was going to happen and it was going to move forward. Now the FARC have lost, I would assume, lost confidence in the negotiators of the government, since the deal couldn't be approved by the people. And so there will be, as Andrea says, there will be, I think, a lot of soul searching within the different ranks of the FARC of what really should be their best path forward. Are these negotiations their best path forward? And I think that the other point of this as well is the fact that as the leaders of the no vote, as people like Alvaro Uribe now has, I think, more power in the terms of these negotiations, this will work against the FARC's interest in an ability to find an accord that is of mutual benefit for both sides.